Hey there, it's Shauna with Homegrown Self-Reliance. So, welcome back to the Self-Reliance Skill of the Week, where we learn a new self-reliance skill every week for the whole year of 2021. So, today for the skill of the week, we are making our own pasta. You might have seen last week that we made our own pesto sauce out of lamb's quarters. This would be perfect to kind of finish up the meal with something that you did all yourself. So here we go. What you're gonna need is about 2.5 cups of flour. This is only 1.5. 4 eggs, tablespoon of olive oil, and a teaspoon of salt. All right, so on a large cutting board, we're going to put our 2.5 cups of flour down. I actually put some wax paper here too, just to make sure it really doesn't stick. And what we need to do is make a little well inside the flour. Crack our eggs into it. And we're going to sprinkle the salt on top. Seems like a lot of salt. And then we're going to pour the olive oil on top. And we want to, it's escaping. So we want to kind of beat these eggs a little bit. Maybe my well's not deep enough. Bear with me, guys. I've never done this before. Okay. So we've got our eggs whisked in. What we want to do is whisk. Oh no! It's all escaping. Making a huge mess. Alright, well, we want to pull in a little bit of the flour in with the eggs and beat it. Just add a little bit more at a time and mix it together. This would be easier with a food processor or a blender, but I'm trying to do it the old-fashioned way. So it should start forming a little bit of a dough. If I can get all of it together. might just have to start using my hands here. I think it wasn't a very good idea to use 2 pieces of wax paper. Getting some of the flour stuck underneath it. But that's okay. We'll just scoot it over a little bit. Just need to combine it really good. You guys probably remember my tortilla video. I'm not the best at kneading. But what we need to do is knead this for about 10 minutes. Sorry guys, I've got a little bit of a cold. Still a little bit sticky. I'm guessing it's because I don't have all of my flour totally incorporated here. I guess you want the dough to be fairly dry. And I think I'm gonna sprinkle just a little more flour on here. If your dough seems too wet, if your dough seems too dry, you can add a little bit of water, just a little bit to it. And if it's too wet and too sticky, you can add a little bit more flour. But you don't want to add too much flour because then it'll get really hard. We're gonna skip ahead. Okay, so now that we've kneaded it for about 10 minutes, it should be nice and smooth like this. I'm gonna form it into a ball. Wrap it in some saran wrap. Let it sit for about a half hour. Alright, so it's been sitting for about a half hour. I take it out of the plastic wrap, put it on a well-floured surface. We're actually going to split this in about half, so it's a little easier to work with. And then we just need to roll it out with a rolling pin. Seems to be quite thin. Okay, gosh, you guys, I always have such a hard time with rolling stuff thin enough. So you want it to be to where you can pretty much see your hand through it. Still not totally sure if this is going to be thin enough, but we're going to roll it onto itself here. We're just going to cut it into whatever shapes we want. I'm just going to do like fettuccine. And this pasta apparently cooks a lot faster than the dried pasta that you buy at the store. Probably only needs about 2 or 3 minutes to cook, depending on how thick your noodles are. There we go. Get a little more of a rhythm going. Yeah, I'm afraid that's going to be a little too thick. So I'll really work on this next one, try to get it thinner. But so far so good. Okay, so if you guys have followed me for a little while, you know that most of my experiments or little projects here sometimes don't go as planned. So this is a little too thick, but I guess it's all right for my first try. I don't know. Do you have any tips for me? If you do, please let me know in the comments. I need to get better at this. If you found this video helpful, I hope you give it a like and consider subscribing. I give out more self-reliant tips every week for this whole year, so I hope you'll join us.